Welcome. Oh no, hiya. That was my thing.
Oh, that's your thing. Yeah. I'll say welcome back.
Of course, when I finally am like, this is my thing, I don't do it the next time.
It takes a few times. Yeah. It takes a few times to lock in.
Hi, everyone.
This is EP 26.
26. It's crazy.
And this is a very special episode.
Why is that?
For a few reasons. Well, first of all, if everything goes to plan, this is released on Elyse's birthday, hopefully. But,
wish me happy birthday.
But regardless, this is the week of Elyse's birthday. So you're turning 34.
I am. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
The big 3-4.
If I make it, we have 2 days.
She makes it there. Lord willing. And because of that, we're doing a special edition episode. If you recall, there was an interview with the DJ that Elyse conducted for me. But now we're going to flip the old microscope on Elyse. We're doing interview with a Yogi.
Hot seat, baby.
Hot seat, baby.
Yeah.
So I compiled a list of questions that I'm going to throw at her, and we'll see if her noodle's working. Hopefully we get some good answers.
Yeah, I'm nervous, honestly. I also don't really like to talk about myself too much, so this will be...
You rarely talk about yourself, so...
I'm comfy.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, for talking about myself.
Yeah. Well,
actually, I want to say real quick. 2 nights ago... my friend came over for dinner and there were kittens and their mom outside. They're living under our next door neighbor's house. And so I've been feeding them every day. And now we have these sweet little kittens.
They're adorable.
3 kittens. They're so pretty. And their mom is so cute. They have the Egyptian look kind of, 2 of them.
Yeah. The little tapering down face and the big eyes.
Big cheekbones.
Yeah. They're really pretty.
Really pretty. So... that's all. I just had to talk about it.
And we can't. I was just thinking about this because Elyse went outside and was so pumped. We can't adopt any more animals. Don't look at me like that.
My birthday's in 2 days.
But literally the one that we think is a girl that's she's not the tiniest, but she's pretty small and she looks like her mom, the tricolored one. So cute.
She's the friendliest too.
And she'd match Sprout. She
would match Sprout. Tricolor.
All right.
Anyways, so next time we talk to you, might have another cat.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. Kind of.
Episode 25. Any recaps?
Snacks.
Was it snacks?
No.
Oh, there's one extra. Humor. Shoot.
Well, you had the best time with your friends this weekend. You were being very humorous.
Oh, good. Yeah. That was a great reference.
A lot.
Yeah, went to Montreal for a boys' weekend with 2 of my closest college buddies, Sam and Nick, and it just happened to be over 4th of July, and obviously they don't celebrate it in Canada, so it was just a really unique place to go to celebrate the 4th, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
A lot of laughs, crying laughter the whole time, so it was great.
That's awesome.
We lived together for a few years in college, so it's just those very formative impressionable years where you make your best friends, you know what I mean? So it was great.
I didn't laugh at all this week because you were gone. So
her source of funny. What did you do for the 4th, babe? You met her for lunch.
I went out with my dad and my sister. Doodle Noodle, which I think it's around not just Tampa.
Yeah, I think you're
right. It's really cute. It's a white aesthetic, white walls, but then every drawings and cartoons on all the walls and stuff, doodles. And it's all Asian noodle bowls and stuff. So it was really good. And then my dad bought me cowboy boots.
They're very cute.
Oh, and then my sister came over and we did dinner and watched a scary movie. Drop. Well, not scary. It's thriller or whatever.
You said it was pretty good.
They gave the whole thing away in the trailer, which is why do movies do that? I don't like that.
What were you? Don't say who it was because I still want to see it. Were you surprised who the baddie was, or not even?
It's nice that you do see the baddies before in the movie.
Okay,
so it's not just a random.
It was the delivery guy at the beginning.
Yeah, his high school, bully or something.
Yeah,
it's you actually know them, but
okay.
So there's I guess that's the twist, and then there's one other twist, kind of, but the rest of it's in the trailer. So
it's almost you're expecting a bigger twist, so it's nice that it's you did see the baddie potentially.
Yeah,
because I feel sometimes you're treading.
I guessed it, obviously.
When there's a twist at the end, I feel sometimes they try so hard to make it so surprising that it's like it's too much of a reach, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, cool. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah. And we got new glasses. We're back
Of
on
course.
it, guys.
We're
New vessels.
we're gonna have to get rid of some vessels because our cabinet is just packed.
We literally don't have space for them. They're just sitting on the counter right now. But Salvation Army was having a 4th of July sale. Everything 50% off. And you know it's already cheap there. 6 of these for like $3.
It's nice.
It'd be a
we
sin
didn't
not
need
to
6 of
just-
them, but okay.
Well, you gotta buy the set.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that was a good recap. Now, let's get into it.
Here we go.
Interview with a yogi. Take 1. All right. Well, let's just kick it right off. I'm an alien. It's my first time on Earth. Greetings, Earthling. What is yoga? If I'm an alien, like, what do you tell someone who doesn't know what it is? Let's
Okay.
talk.
There's the philosophical answer. There's the, more popular answer. I would say if you were to see what yoga is, alien, on Earth, obviously it would be movement, intentional movement in the body linked to breath. If you're going a bit deeper with it, philosophically and like yoga in general, the word broken down means to yuj or to yoke, to combine, to connect. So it would be connecting breath to movement, breath to other humans, mind to heart. There's a lot of connecting here. Human to earth, human to animals. But I feel like yoga is the 8-limb path of yoga. Mm-hmm. This interview is going to end up being really long.
That? Yeah.
The 8-limb path of yoga is a way to live your life. And it has the yamas and the niyamas, which are things to take out of your life to create space for self-observances and just ways to like make yourself a better human being, pretty much, for the world to be a better place. And breath work, the asana is the physical practice. But then you also have all the different types of meditation. And yeah, so there you go, alien.
So it sounds like yoga has many layers to it, and some people might just think it's the physical movement.
Yes.
How do you comment on that, Earthling?
Yeah, exactly. So most people would just like be taking a yoga class and they would just go and move their body in an asana practice. But it's much more than that.
Much more than that, which I've subsequently learned over the years, but that's what I thought way back when. So heard it here first.
Yeah.
Cool. You feel fulfilled with that question? Should I move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you take your first yoga class? Do you remember how it made you feel? And if so, how? Etc.
Is this still to an alien? Or?
No, we can move on from the alien.
So I don't physically remember the first yoga class I took, but the first yoga class I took, my mom used to do privates with this woman in Saratoga, New York. And it was at this woman's house and we went with her and we like did the class with her. I don't remember it though. I just remember that I had done that. My first yoga class that I was an older person that could remember was in college. I got like a Groupon. I had just gone through a breakup and was like, I need something new. And I was like kind of hippie vibes anyways. So I was like,
Sure.
Yoga tracks. So I went to this yoga studio in Westchester and loved it. I just remember I didn't have like a coming to Jesus moment with yoga where I was like, that's it, but I remember just being like, this feels really good in my body. I also wasn't really into working out then. So I think it just felt good to like stretch and move my body and stuff. And then I just like kept going. So it did click in some way, but I don't really remember like the moment,
Interesting.
Yeah,
Because I feel like over the years, it's become more than that to you, right?
for sure.
But at first, you just like were like, hey, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
Interesting. You don't remember at all when you were like a tiny the first time?
Not really, no. I can kind of picture the room, but it was just like in a woman's house, pretty much.
Interesting.
And she was more talking to my mom, and we were
Sure.
just like there with her. I don't know how much we actually did. I should ask my mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Or did I know that? I know your mom took with Aunt Val, right? Or not even?
She's taken with my Aunt Val. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. This kind of is like an elaboration. So, when did you kind of start knowing you wanted to teach yoga?
After I graduated my 200-hour training.
Oh, okay. So I guess backtrack, but wouldn't you have taken the training because you wanted to teach or not even?
So I graduated college, moved to Colorado, wanted more knowledge, didn't want to go into a master's program. So I joined a 200-hour to just keep doing yoga. And I was like, I don't plan to, because I wanted to be at that point, I wanted to be a DJ, producer, music producer, or a band artist manager. Those were like my 2 tracks at that point. So I was like, I'll just take the training and then I'll teach yoga when I retire. And I would like laugh about it and be like, yeah, when I retire, when I'm 65, I'll teach.
Interesting.
So it wasn't until after I did my training and then I like mentored my teacher's next training and then did another training. And then I was like, oh, like then it just started showing up for me. And I started teaching from there.
Well, that's interesting because that's something you encourage people to do, that like you can take a training not just to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something you're initially doing anyway.
Yeah.
Because I first thought it was like, oh, if you want to teach, do this. But it's like you can enhance your practice. You can just like, it's better like for it, like general growth, right?
Well, and as I mentioned, like yoga so much, so it's not, you can enhance your practice. You can learn inversions and all of these things, but you can also like gain so many tools in a training on just clarity of life pretty much and like what you want to do next or help with your way of presenting and your confidence levels and you know, connection. I moved to Boulder, didn't know anybody, so like I met all these people in training. And
that's true.
Yeah.
You stayed friends with are you still friends with like close with any of the people from your first training?
No. I still on Instagram will like comment to Tori, who was my best friend in my training, and then Alec was in my 200-hour
he was
training.
In the training?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you met him like at like a studio. I didn't know he was in the training.
Yeah, he was in my training.
Okay, and the dude, what was the dude? The redhead dude?
Jason.
He was cool.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay. They're gonna get deeper.
Learning so much.
We're learning a lot. It seems like there are a lot of different philosophies about how to teach yoga. What do you consider most important when teaching class?
That you have a purpose.
Mm-hmm. Even if you want to just go in just to like move and like just feel good, is that sufficient enough as a purpose or no? Is that too general?
I guess like the best type of yoga would just be to get people out of their busy minds. So yeah, I guess if you're doing it that way, I personally think it's a very important thing to have a reason why you do everything that you do.
You mean as a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like every pose, I should be able to ask you after I take your class, why did you put that in there? And they should be like, oh, because you find this in the body, which translates later to what we're going to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that plays like, I know there's different, I'll probably get into this later, but I guess here we are. There's different types of movement-based yoga, whether that's like, I guess vinyasa and like forest and hot. And some don't link poses as much as others. Is it more important in some modalities to have like to your point where it's like, oh, we're doing this because of the place we're going? Is it more important in some modalities than others, or it should just be applied in the same way? I don't know. Does that even make sense, that question?
Yeah, like forest yoga, they'll have like a workshop where it's just back bends. You know,
okay, so
and it'll be like the whole theme is about like opening your heart.
So it's like 100% important.
Yeah. And then, but like you have to twist to help the spine feel okay in back bend. So it's not like you're just doing back bend, back bend, back bend. Like there's other things in there. Mm-hmm. Hot yoga, Bikram yoga is all like, it's a 26 pose sequence and that's all you're going to do every single time. And that is truly just to open you up in different ways and move your body in different ways. There isn't like a peak pose that you land in.
But they're all like specifically curated for the overall purpose of opening up your body.
Yeah.
Okay. So it all adds up.
But I will say, I want to kind of backtrack, because if we're not talking asana only, this is like my teacher trainer voice coming out. I feel like overall, the most important thing in a yoga class is to just find connection. I'll say that. I'm going to say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So whether that's to your breath, to somebody else in the room, to your body, that's the most important thing.
But I did ask what's the most important thing about teaching. So
yeah,
you answered that.
So I guess both.
Both. Yeah. What styles of yoga, this is mainly for the viewers, what styles of yoga have you trained in? Or like you can even like branches, like just yogic things, because I personally don't know how everything's like what's qualified as yoga. You know what I mean? Go on.
So my 200 hour and 300 hour. So basically you have like your bachelor's degree is a 200 hour. So you have to take it to teach yoga. Then your 300 hours, like your master's degree, where you don't have to do it. But if you want to lead trainings, you have to take it. Oh,
you have to be 500 hour to lead trainings?
Or if, you just want more. And then that one, you can also often pick and choose your modules. So you can like dive deeper into breath work and not focus so much on pregnancy modifications or, whatever it might be. Like you can kind of like pick it.
Oh, in the 300 hour?
For some, like mine, we were allowed to.
Depending on the teacher.
Yeah, some are just like you go to Bali for, a month and you just do it all there and it's everything. But mine you could pick, which was nice.
Interesting.
So I'm certified in Hatha yoga or like vinyasa yoga in those. And then restorative yoga I did right after my 200 hour. And then I did a Kriya training after my 300 hour, which is like repetitive movements or repetitive breath work or chanting to move the energetic body. So it's a lot of, like breath, and you just repeat things are burning. It's to move energy.
That one almost like from my perspective, that one almost like purposely tests your like tolerance of things.
Yeah.
It's like
endurance. Yeah.
That one can be tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
For sure. And then I've also trained in, this isn't yoga, but like bar as well.
Bar? Haven't you done, maybe not. Didn't you do any like, I guess Kriya's breath work. Did you do any other like breath work or meditation CEs or no?
No, I don't think so. I did like an anatomy course with Jason Crandall.
Oh, yeah.
Online.
Does that count as a CE, or that's just kind of like interesting? Continuing education?
CEU, Continuing Education Unit.
Gotcha. Do you have to do CEUs per year to maintain?
Through Yoga Alliance, it's supposed to be like 20 or 30 hours every 2 or 3 years. I don't remember which one.
And you have to like resubmit to maintain active?
Yeah. Not to be active, but to have a school, you have to do that. Yeah. Which I love, because it like forces you to keep being a student, which we all should continue to be. Anyways.
Yeah. That might come up later.
Oh, hello.
Okay. This I've kind of already answered this. What's your favorite style or like branch of yoga, and why? If you had to choose.
Yeah, vinyasa.
Why?
Because there's so much that you can do with it. There's so much freedom in it. There's so many different ways to form a vinyasa class, and there's space to like break things down and drop deeper into different moments and different poses. But then you can also move breath to movement, so you're moving faster and just like getting out of your head with it. Yeah.
That's my favorite too.
But I also love forest yoga, but I don't have it here anymore. So it's not, well, there actually is one. I just have never done it, but I should do it.
Fun fact. You want to tell them? You want to tell the crowd?
That I used to work for them?
Yeah. The founder.
Yeah. I used to work. So Forest Yoga is with 2 R's, made by Anna Forrest, who is this amazing woman, that built a brand of yoga more around trauma and trying to release trauma that's held in the body. And her now husband, Jose Calarco, have created just like she created it and then he kind of 2.0'd it. And they travel all over the world and they'll be here in October. I'm going to go see them in Florida. But they're incredible. It's like really long holds and a ton of core work, but not like core that you've ever done before. Like it's so intense.
It's really hard.
The first time I took a forest yoga class, I was living in Colorado at the time and I went home and had to put a heating pad on my stomach because I hurt so bad. Like everything just hurt so bad and I didn't even know what happened. And obviously I went back and it's just like so awesome. Such a good class.
It creeps up on you. I only did it once and like just long holds are just wild.
Yeah.
Shout out Jose and Anna.
Yeah.
All right, next. Or any more comments on that?
Oh, I worked for them.
Oh yeah. I think you said that.
Well, I was
Yeah, you
like telling them who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice. And two different like
two different chunks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, this is an insane question. I'm going to give myself that. Is there a different mindset when you are a student on the mat as opposed to being a teacher?
Yeah, of course.
Go on.
Well, a teacher, you're working. So you're just on and you're thinking of the next thing and the why. As a student, unless you've taken a 200-hour training, you're just there to experience what you're being told to do.
Yeah, I guess that's
so you're like in the moment in both, but like the student, you're just listening and doing. As the teacher, you're like thinking of what's next, but then still being in the present moment to like tell them why they're there almost, you know?
True. I guess we kind of like talked about that earlier about the philosophies because you touched on philosophies of a teacher and as a student.
But if you've taken your 200-hour, it does kind of ruin it because then you start to think like, oh, why is she putting that there?
Right.
So you're like I'm not the best student 90% of the time when I'm in class because I'm just wondering either I like something and I want to take it or I'm thinking of like why they're doing it or, you know, I'm like always on even when I'm teaching or taking.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same way at like a show. Like, what are they doing over
yeah.
there?
What controller do they
have? I'm trying to like slither up to the booth.
Literally.
Okay. I thought that was a way better question than it was. It felt obvious as you started to.
That's great. Great question.
Okay. This might be a hot button topic, ladies and gentlemen. Who and or what have been the biggest influences on your teaching style?
Ooh. So I would say Rob Loud, shout out.
Shout out Rob.
Love Rob.
We love you.
He's in Boulder. He still I still take his classes from online a lot. He is like probably my biggest influence on how I teach. I would say Amy Apolidi, she led my 300-hour training as far as like anatomy goes and just like the want for longevity. So like safety in the body so that people can keep doing yoga forever. That's through her.
That's important.
I'd say like Jamie Lanza, who owns camp. I haven't taken her classes very much because she moved to LA before I moved here. But like Jamie and I mean, all the teachers really at camp are very inspiring to me. But I would say like Rob is just like his simplicity around it. Like it's like almost like it's not a big deal. So like let go of the stress around it. But the intention's always there. The class is always hard. And just like his vibes are always good. So
good music.
Yeah, great music.
He's very welcoming and fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken his class quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. He's fun.
Yeah. So I would say probably him. And then just classes that I take, you know, randomly.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I love Cheryl Deere. Shout out. I'm sure she'll never watch this.
Love Cheryl.
She's a forest yoga teacher, but I don't teach in that way. I think like when I was taking privates from her, it would translate into my classes a little bit more than it does now. But
yeah, she's great too. I think I only took like one of her class when she was down in at Lodo.
Yeah.
Sweet. So there you have it, folks. What's up? What's next? Aha! You recently completed your first self-led 200-hour yoga teacher training. You did, this isn't part of the question, you did how many before that, like co-teaching?
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
First self-led, she put it all together herself. Can you provide us with some insight as to what that even is and what it takes to pull off?
A 200 hour?
Yeah, like to do it yourself,
Yeah.
to teach it, all that good stuff.
So I had to build my own manual, which took me, it was 2020, so like I had the time to do it, but it took me like months and months and months. And it has to cover like all of these different topics. And then you send it to Yoga Alliance, which is like the overarching umbrella, like governing rulers of
Yeah, they
yoga
like standardize
these
it.
days. Yeah.
And
And you submit it to be a school, and then they come back to you, and basically you go back and forth. Mine was like 6 months. I had to go back and forth with them and just fix things and make sure that everything was the way that it needed to be. And then once they give you the pass, then you can start leading your own trainings. And you have to be in person with people, I think, for like 165-ish of the hours, but we were closer to 200, and you just cover everything from philosophy and the deities or the gods and goddesses of Hinduism. You cover Sanskrit, the language of yoga. You cover obviously how to build a class, anatomy, breath work, meditation, modifications for people with injuries or pregnancies or what have you. There's a lot of like moments of building just like your own confidence as a person and self-inquiry and getting to know yourself better. Obviously, the 8 limb path is like throughout it. The different texts are throughout it. So the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, just like it's a lot. You get to learn a lot. How to like theme a class, the Dharma talk.
It's a lot. And just organizationally, to me, that sounds like a lot of work to try to make it flow well, build upon itself.
Mm-hmm.
Bravo.
Thank you. It helps that I've led them through a studio before. So the studio had like some sort of structure, and I could kind of take their scheduling from that in a way.
True.
And like obviously move it around and stuff. But
Yeah, had you not worked for studios, it'd be probably way harder.
yeah, for sure.
Very cool. How do you go about planning classes?
I usually pick the peak pose. So
You start from the peak pose and work back.
Well, I start from the focus in the body. So let's say last week we did heart openers, then I probably wouldn't do heart openers this week. So I would do something else. So that might be twists, that might be balancing, arm balances or inversions or hamstrings, or I would pick something else to focus on. Then let's say I picked hamstrings, then I'd pick a peak pose. So it would be, let's say, full splits. Then I would work my way to splits from there. So we would need like key actions, we call them.
Okay.
And so it's like you would need hamstring lengthening and strengthening. You would need an open chest, and you would need a squeezing in towards one another of your legs for full splits. So then in every pose that you have, you should have at least one of those key actions.
Okay. So if you know like the guiding factors, it's like, I don't want to say easy, but it's like a very like, it's somewhat systematic. Obviously, you want to be creative, right?
Yeah.
And you think that's, well, not think, is that like definitely the route you should be going? Like, is that how you teach your teachers to do it?
So I teach them, but no, there's many ways to skin an orange, to peel an orange.
Very good. Cool.
Yeah.
Shall I move on?
You shall.
Okay. This is an interesting one because it's like if I'm relating it to myself. Well, let me just say it first. I know that sometimes you need to teach on the fly, and I'm curious, what do you tell your yoga teacher training students about that? Because you don't necessarily want to encourage always doing that, but it's something important to like be skilled at or whatever.
Yeah. It's the same thing pretty much. So you just figure out like what you want to teach to, and then figure out your key actions in your head, and then just kind of, it's always going to be like the same format of warm up, you know, and then moving breath to movement, and then some sort of like core and finishing sequence. So you just, again, in your head, kind of like make sure that you're covering all your bases so that people are warm for the pose that you're landing in. Or even like if you don't want a peak pose, then instead it's just like, I'm doing back bends today. So you do warm up and then you keep progressing to make the back bends more and more challenging because you're more open for them as you go.
So if you, but then, you know, what if you have to like modify based off of like someone's injury? It's like, I guess
Totally.
just the same overall goal, but just like give modification options or what?
Well, that's a great point, because if you walk in and you have a whole class like prepared in your head, but then everyone in there is a completely new student to yoga, you have to scrap your idea and like keep everything super grounded or something. So yeah, always having the flexibility to like change it on the fly.
But to your point, you can still keep the overall intention or goal. You just like have to change the poses around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good question.
Thank you. I was at, let's see. I can imagine it's difficult. Oh, shoot. I answered this. I was going to bring up catering to different levels and abilities. You already brought that up.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, if you're making up your class all the time, it doesn't always leave space to comment on what to find in the pose.
Ooh.
So if you're making up the class, the flow on one side, the second side, you don't have as much space to be like, engage this muscle or do this, because you're just trying to remember in your head what you did on the first side to mirror it on the second side. Or you might end up missing something on the second side that you did on the first side because you're just making it up with no prep. On the flip of that, I find it very fun to make up classes on the fly sometimes, because it just gives you like a freedom that you don't necessarily have if you like create a class that is really intentional. So you want to teach it because it makes sense. But at the same time, you know, I don't know.
It's fun too, I can imagine. It's like the same thing as like improv in the music setting, like especially if you teach all the time. I'm sure sometimes just like going on the fly keeps it fresh.
Exactly.
Very cool. Ooh, this is an insane question. Do you get inspiration from non-yoga people and things, but like towards your kind of yoga practice? And if so, what and who are they, and how can you apply them in your practice? Is that a tough one?
I would say like mostly, of course, yes. I get inspiration from like rainbows and kittens and all the things. Alan Watts is like a huge inspiration as far as just the way he looks at life. I'd say more like books and, like self-help books. The Celestine Prophecy is a book that I love. I would recommend reading that.
She's a big bookworm, y'all.
Yeah, I probably more so that, because I don't necessarily I listen to podcasts, obviously, but it's more like interviews and stuff. It's not necessarily like self-help. And I think that type really is inspiring for Dharma talks and stuff. But yeah, of course, I'm inspired by people all the time. Not necessarily like a go-to person.
Right. Well, you always have like day-to-day instances sometimes that you can incorporate into you're inspired by the world.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
You're inspired by our pets.
Totally.
For sure, right?
Definitely, yeah. You can learn from everything, you guys. Just
there you go.
gotta open your eyes.
That's the true yogi mind.
Yeah.
Shoot, I keep losing my... Okay. Props or nah? Talk about your thoughts on props and when to use them.
Props always.
You heard it here, folks.
Here's my thing. Often people think that props are a hindrance on their practice. No. Props are going to up-level your practice, because if you're straining to find the floor or something else, you're not going to feel the pose as much as you would if you were supported. That being said, props could also be a crutch to not find right alignment. So I would say if you're using props in a certain way to like, not feel pain in a pose, but it's more so you're feeling pain in a pose because of misalignment, then let's work on the alignment without the prop.
Interesting.
And find it on your own, and then you could use the prop to up level your sensation in the pose.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like sometimes you'll mention like it's like don't be a hero. Like if you can't reach the floor, don't strain. Just use a prop. Like I feel like I've said this a million times. you're more prone to see like yoga teachers and people that like practice a lot using props because I feel like there's no shame in it and it helps. It helps you practice. It's interesting. Very good. All right. So the answer is props yes.
Props yes.
But props nah if...
Don't use them as a crutch, use them as a tool.
Boom. Hello. This might be cliche, but I think it's fun. I literally wrote that down. What advice would you give your younger self when you first started your yogic journey? Like from you now?
To like surrender. That's actually the card I've pulled 2 days in a row.
Whoa.
To surrender to like possibility, because in my life in general, I've always tried to like know the next step and like really like plan and prep and like stress about what's next. And lately I've just been trying to, because all the cards before that were telling me to rest. So I've been trying to rest more. And then through that, I've been trying to like surrender into just like, it's all going to work out fine. You know, like if an event doesn't work out, it's okay.
Yeah.
We've experienced that. Like if an event doesn't have people signing up and we have to cancel it, like it's not the end of the world. It's okay. You know, that leaves space for something else. Or
yeah, you especially have that mindset, like compared to me, and helped me adopt that same mindset. And it's like, it's going to be okay. Yeah. Like look at the bigger picture kind of deal.
Yeah. Even like I tried to put on multiple teacher trainings before this last one, and I was trying different ways to do them and different ways to promote them, and I like never had any real interest, and I was like super bummed. And then when it happened, it was like the most magical, incredible thing ever. So, you know, just knowing that like it's gonna work itself, like keep doing the hard work. Obviously you can't just like sit by and have the world hand you things, but know that like it's gonna be, what's supposed to happen will happen.
Yeah. And to that point, like what if it's just like this particular training you had that when was it from?
January to April.
It was like meant to be the first one. Cause like, what if another one before it panned out, but like, you know, cause there was like stress surrounding some of them. And, you know, I remember it was like, you didn't want to go into it feeling wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So it meant to happen. And you being persistent about trying it again. Was it your third go? No, second.
I think third. Like try to make it happen. Yeah, because there was like one I was going to do all online, then another one I was going to do half online, half in person, then maybe even the fourth. Then there was one where I wanted to do it in person and then like go to Mexico for like a week and like have it be kind of a retreat vibe too. And then this one finally worked. So
this was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great group of gals. Sweet. Any more comments on that to your younger self?
No, like I've always wanted to be a student. I would say just keep being a student, you know, like that's really helped in a lot of ways. There's always something to learn.
Love that. Absolutely. What is your ultimate, this might be cliche as well, but I got to hit you with it. What's your ultimate goal on your yoga journey? I know you're always going to be a student, but what would you define as true success, quote unquote?
I mean, like putting in a little less work promoting and just having like a following, if I'm being real, would be like obviously success.
Ain't that the truth?
But again, if you're going by this idea of like everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, then like I don't need to stress about my people finding me. Like I always stressed about my people finding me and like building my community. And once it started happening, it just feels like now I'm just in the ebb and flow of it and it just feels easier. So yeah, I would just say, what was the question?
The question was like, what's your ultimate goal with your yoga journey? What would you define as true success?
Yeah. So I would say probably like leading 1 to 2 trainings a year, having them full and just having the students become even more like elevated people through it, whether that's teachers or just, yogis like taking the principles of yoga into their lives. And I don't say that from like become elevated because of me. It's like because they're all together and they're all like pulling each other up with each other, like that's the coolest thing to watch in these. It's not, of course they're learning things from me, but I'm learning things from them as well. So like just as a group, like elevating and just inviting people into like a life of yoga that's not just the physical practice, I think is like would be success too. And eventually, potentially, I go back and forth with this, but like maybe opening a retreat center in Florida, where teachers can rent out the space and they lead their own retreats and events and things like that. And I wouldn't own my own studio though, that's for sure.
Fair, yeah.
Not gonna do that. So yeah, something else like that. I like retreats. I think I'm gonna like back away a little bit and then see what comes of it, maybe down the road. But yeah, trainings are where it's at for me right now.
Yeah, overall having that draw or like not fan base, but followers, like you said, followers and students with like having to put a little less effort on the promo side.
Yeah.
That's nice, baby.
It'd be epic.
That's nice for anyone. That's not even that's awesome. Cool. One of the things, we're good on time. One of the things I enjoy most about you as a teacher is that while you strive to always better yourself, you never try to be anyone other than yourself. Is that something you encourage in your trainings?
No.
You're like, be more like me.
You should all be like me. Clones. Yeah, of course. I always say that like one of the questions in the training is what would the world be missing out on if you didn't become a yoga teacher?
Whoa, deep.
I don't want anyone to be like me. Like obviously I'm inspired by Rob Loud and I take what he does and I can like, change it up or whatever. We're all inspired by somebody, but no, definitely always show up authentically as yourself. The world doesn't need more of me. And that's like in life in general, like don't try to be anybody but yourself,
Absolutely. I noticed you had, I'm not sure if this is required, but I remember in one of your modules, like you're specifically just like talking about cultivating their own brands. Is that something required?
Business of yoga is, but maybe not necessarily
that
like
specifically.
Cultivating your brand. Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Thanks.
And that's like a great way to just hit the ground running.
Yeah. Some of them even had logos coming out of 200 Hour, which is awesome. Because they just
insane.
knew what they wanted to do.
Yeah. Sweet deal. So be yourself, yogis. What's your favorite peak pose?
Ooh. I will, in my own practice, headstand I love, and any kind of inversion I love to like go towards. In teaching, probably crow pose is so like blah to say, but I feel like watching people get into crow for the first time is like so inspiring and just like great to watch. And it's the one arm balance that like I promise you everyone could get into. Obviously, people with like, I should say people with two arms and two, like they're, or like, you know what I mean? Like
if there's specific physical limitations that
correct.
You physically
of course,
can't,
then, yeah.
right? There's
Yeah.
exceptions.
Thank you. Yes, but yeah, I would say crow pose for that reason, or like any arm balance in general, because arm balances are meant for self confidence. Like that's what their purpose is. So I like to just like get people into shapes that they don't think they can get into, and then they try and they get into them.
Yeah, I feel like crow is like that's the one that you go from like here to here, and then it starts to like open new possibilities with arm balances and confidence.
Yeah,
because it's like it's not an inversion. You literally need to have your legs over your head to be an inversion.
No, it's like your head's lower than your.
It's like kind of you're going toward that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
And this is the final question.
Okay.
What would you say to someone who is afraid to try yoga because they think it's not for them? I feel like that's super common. I know people that have never even tried it. I'm curious. What do you think?
It's for you, babe.
Nice.
Period. That's it. There's so many yoga teachers. There's, I don't know, a million might sound like a lot. There's so many yoga teachers. I promise you, you'll find one that's for you. And every single person needs to slow down, and every single person needs to connect to their body in a positive way. And every single person needs to slow down their minds and connect to their heart. And that's what yoga is. So, and if physical asana is not for you, then meditation is for every single person.
That's true.
And if you're not into meditating yet, then breath work can be of extreme benefit to you. So like, give me a break. Yoga's for everyone. The Yamas and Niyamas, there's a book called Yamas and Niyamas by Deborah something. Read that book. It's all about just making yourself a better person and by living a life that's more intentional. If you are a yogi or a practicing a yoga student, the hope is that you somehow make the world a better place. And so why wouldn't it be for you? It's for everyone.
I love it. Mic drop. Yeah, I mean, with all the different limbs, because a lot of people mistake it as being just the movement.
Mm-hmm.
And even that, when people who've never tried it are like, nah, I don't want to do it, you know, that's another story. But like you said, it's like there is a lane of yoga that's for you, for everyone.
And like people will say, I'm not flexible enough. Like that's like saying, that's stupid. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's why you would come is to get flexible.
Right.
Or people think that it's like just stretching, and it's like, no, you're going to build a lot of strength in a yoga class.
Oh, you're going to sweat.
If you're bored, a lot of people will say like, oh, I did yoga for years and I got bored. Well, then you stopped trying because there's so many little things to happen in every pose. You could do Warrior 2 10,000 times in your lifetime, and you should find something new in your body while you're in it every single time. If you're bored, like there's always something new to find in your body. So, and there's always also like restorative, which you could just like stretch out and calm down if you don't want the faster paced vinyasa class. So yes, there's something for everyone.
I'm honestly surprised to like some of the people that like yoga, like you wouldn't expect them to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it also helps that it's so much more compared to when we were kids to now, it's so much more like prevalent and like, you know what I mean? It's more encouraged and accepted and like all genders, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Elyse Leren Yoga, y'all.
Thank you.
Check her out. Follow her. Take her classes. Would you want to talk about anything more before we get out of here?
I'll have a 200-hour training.
It's like Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Now you can pitch.
I'll have a 200-hour teacher training in January to March in 2026. So if you're interested and in the Tampa Bay area, let me know. We have our retreat coming up in August 15th through the 17th in Largo, or like Indian Rocks Beach area. So if you want to just like get deeper into a practice, and all of the different limbs will be present there as well.
Intertwined with music.
Of course.
Lots of music.
If you want to take my class, I'm exclusively at camp in Tampa, so you can come take a class there. If you're curious about yoga or think it's not for you, like take 3 classes with 3 different teachers.
Right.
It's not going to kill you. If you hate the first one, just take another one and see what happens. And that's it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Slex.
You're welcome.
It's great.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, sweet minx.
Thank you.
This has been great. All right,
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Take it easy, y'all.
Bye.